Hey guys, Van here. In the process of making that shower rod that I discussed long ago. I knew it wasn't going to be an easy process, so I procrastinated on it, and the weather hasn't been the best here for the last few days, so waiting on the uh, fumes to get out of the van from paint, and we stained the upper ceiling there by choice. Everybody voted clear coat, so I want to thank you all on that part. It turned out great. So I did mention how I was going to do this probably a year ago, but just kind of want to give a little more of a visual of how it's all coming together, because it's been a little trial and error for me as well going through the process here. Um, First of all, let's get one of these screws out of here. If you take a look at this type screw, it is flat on the opposite side of the head there. So if we take a look at this screw, it's curved more like a cone. So I had to go with this type of screw in order to make this work, guys, because here's what we're doing. So as you can see, when we fold the hinges back to back like this, I needed that cone area to sink into the metal more so this will lay flat as possible. So it doesn't lay quite flat, but just a little tension, and it does. A person could probably take an angle grinder and just touch the heads of those if they needed it to lay perfectly flat. This is fine enough for me. It's probably losing a half an inch when it's all said and done. Actually, this side will get one more layer, which will be this big guy here, which is the same as, let's move this out of the way, as the back side here, or the front side. Both will be the same. So this one here, this hinge will attach to this, which will be the same as this. So this particular one, my cabinet, is about 22 inches or so. At least I think that's what I built it out to be, because I had taken these measurements long ago and written them down. But so this is the width, and then as this opens, this is going to be about 44 inches tall, guys. So, and it all will fold up in the cabinet in a matter of seconds. So I have the shower hooks that I'm using. They're the old style. They're more like I guess I'll describe them as maybe a teardrop or something. If you were drawing like a teardrop, you probably remember back in the day, or if you're not old enough, maybe grandma grandpa's house, but they will lay flat right over top of that ridge of this aluminum. This aluminum, I believe, is probably 3/16 thick and inch and a half. I got it right at your local Lowe's. These are the type of hinges I also got at the local Lowe's, inch and a half by inch and a quarter. They're like $1 a pack, but they come with the wood screws. So these I actually robbed out of cover plates, electrical cover plates, and they did need to be cut to the exact length so they disappear basically inside the metal. So that, is flat. These are the first couple that I had started with. So I think they stick out a thread or something, but pretty much got it dialed now. If you haven't ever seen a pair of these wire strippers, but some wire strippers have this here, 632, 832, and these are screw cutters. So you can screw the screw in there and just chop it, just like a piece of wire, boom. And that'll cut down these screws because they were a bit too long. They were sticking out the back, and that would prevent us from folding this down flat. You're going to need yourself a drill. I left, where is that one? Here we go. So I'm drilling and tapping. If you've never done that before, easy process. So I trace the hinge. We take the hinge on there, get it exactly where we want it. And I'm just taking an ink pen, one of these G, whatever they're called, what are they, G2s? I think they might be gel. Real easy to stick in there, real fine print, so it draws a circle. And then I take a drill bit, drill it out, and then I tap it with a tap. This is an electrician's tool also, called a tri-tap. So as you can see, there's 3 different threads there on that side, but this actually flips around in the handle. You can pull this out and flip it. I can't do it one-handed, but you actually have 3 other taps on the other side. If you've never done this, you want to screw it in, and then it'll start to bind up a little bit. Don't force it, because it's cutting threads in there is what it's doing. So just pull it completely back out, and then that'll take all those sharp edges that are going to mess up the thread, basically. I mean, you'll probably be okay, but just on the safe side. Screw it in about halfway. You'll feel it kind of bind up, and then unscrew it. That'll take all the sharp edges out, then go back in, and it'll make a perfect threaded hole, just like you got there. So this is very time consuming. A lot of you probably aren't going to have the patience to go through all this. This has been the better part of 2 days, but it's been crappy weather, and I, not able to work outside anyway. We've had snow on and off and high winds, 20s at night Fahrenheit. So great indoor project. I've just kind of turned my top of my chest freezer in the laundry room a little workshop. Get yourself a piece of scratch paper too, guys. I just doing a little scribbling here to keep the front of that pen clean. So trying to draw on this aluminum here. So get yourself a piece of scratch paper and keep the pen clean. You'll be able to draw those little baby circles. File is good to have as well. And just a screwdriver. This is also good, because what I also found myself doing is actually putting, let's see, I gotta let my fingertip there to even pick these little guys up. But this allows the cone screw to get down in there just one more thread, because it was, the head of the screw was just sticking out too much. Also had to drill these out, guys. I drilled them out just slightly less than the head of the screw, so they'll sink all the way down in there and go as flat as possible. I thought about maybe using a rivet. Would have been a lot easier, but I didn't have the right size for one on hand. So it was going to require extra cost and another trip to the store. Fuel prices, we all know, are through the roof. So I don't have a hardware store or nothing across the street. So I improvised and used what I had. And this is the best solution I could come up with, and it's all coming together. As you guys can see, not laying perfectly flat, but very close. That's pretty much how it's going to be, besides the solid bar that'll go all the way across and attach both. I've got one more layer on this guy, which this will be attached here. And then we've got one more guy here. So this will get hinged here. And then bring that back over to here. We'll apply another hinge, which we already have, on this guy here, which will go all the way across. Well, we dropped her tough doing things one-handed. So see, here's what I had done to begin with. So I'm going to have to remove these. And luckily I did thread them. I had just put these on there to maybe keep them from backing out. But thread lock is another idea. If you're worried about them being, backing out or something, you could always put a little thread lock on there. So I think that pretty much sums it up, guys. I'll show it in a future video, how I mount it and all that stuff. But I have gotten a lot of views on the hidden shower rod when I just done the idea with a piece of paper. But I wanted to show you guys, this visualization in my head, how it's all coming together. And I had to make some adjustments to make it all work, but I think it's all going to turn out just fine. So I have been doing a lot of shorts videos, which are very little time to upload. Reason being, we've been kind of at it hard out there working on the van, but there was no way to fit this into a shorts video. Get yourself a tape measure as well. Measure the space where you're going to put it in the cabinet, of course. Drill index, so you've got all kinds of different size drill bits and stuff to figure out your needs. And just take precise measurements and pay attention to what you're doing. I did do this side first, 100%, besides the final bar that goes all the way across. That's not it. That's the file looking through the camera. But I did this 100%. This way I could duplicate the exact position of my hinges. So my advice, do one side complete. Pay attention to how you're doing the other side. Also, what I even paid attention to, if I had a cameraman, everything one-handed. I even paid attention to the hinges, the position of which way they're going. I did the exact opposite, a mirror image of the other side. So make everything typical, just like here, for example. This one's swooping that way, and that one's swooping the exact opposite direction. That's what I mean. So I think that's going to sum it up. Just wanted to show you guys. Oh, and these particular screws, I'm using 632s. If you don't know what 632s means, 632 is a size of screw. As I said, these are panhead type style, and you probably want to get stainless steel too so they don't rust. But you can see they're 632 by 3/8. These are in particular. 6 basically is the diameter, the gauge of the screw, the size. And the 32 basically means there's 32 threads within 1 inch if you're in the US and you go by that standard. I'm not too sure about other countries being on a metric system, but these particular screws are 632s, so just to give you an FYI on that. As usual, drop any comments in the page here, ask any questions. Definitely going to take some time. Like I say, this is my second day into this, so be patient, and it'll all pan out in the end. It definitely is going to beat piecing together a bunch of pieces of pipe and trying to completely take down your shower rod and taking down the curtain, folding that all up. This, I'm just going to push it back on this first bar, and the shower hooks will stay there. The shower curtain will stay there. Once it dries, I can just ball it up, and tuck it up into the cabinet, close the door, and it goes away once it dries off. So permanent installation, literally within 5-10 seconds, it's all set up. You're just going to pull it out of the cabinet, lift the door, pull it out, run your curtain around you, jump in the shower. So a definite commitment to a lot of work, but you're going to waste probably 10 minutes trying to set up a shower curtain rod any other way. So this is the only other option I could come up with without building a full-blown bathroom that takes up a lot of space in these van builds. So this may be something you may want to try. Just want to share it with you guys. It's a definite commitment on time. Like I say, a lot of drilling, tapping, patience, trying to figure out how you can get those screws to be flush. But this seems to be working. So till the next time, we'll catch you on the next one. Like, subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Peace.